All right, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about the new film. It's lovely. I have to sort of direct questions individually to make the Zoom sort of work. So, Ali, let me ask you this. I know that's a performance you probably like that you have all the colors to work with within Amber, but I wanted to sort of ask you if you naturally gravitate to her extroverted positivity or sort of the introverted way she deals with her pain. I wonder which of those did you find your way
Ooh,
easiest to?
I don't know if you can make me choose, really. What I really love about Amber is that she is so real and so multifaceted in that, and that she has hopes and dreams and is an optimist, but she also is a real person and she has struggles. So I don't know. I was also very blessed, I think, to be able to play a character like that who is going through these struggles and who I think a lot of people will be able to relate to.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. Rhenzy, I have to say, I was so invested in what you guys were doing. It's one of those things where I almost forgot that I was watching a movie because I was like, okay, I was thinking to myself, it's like, if they decide to make this romantic, these guys are going to be totally okay. But my question to you was it sort of a different sort of challenge and more gratifying to sort of work in a sort of a intimate emotional connection, whether they're getting together or not. If you could talk about sort of getting that part of the character.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the things that I liked the most about it was that it isn't sort of the typical way that I think some movies sole focus is to focus on the relationship and they meet each other and oh my god and look at them falling in love and now they have an argument and maybe they get back together by the end. Like that's maybe like a story that we've heard a few times, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But what drew me to it and what I thought was unique about this story specifically is that they already know each other. You know, we come into the story and they sort of have a thing, and you can tell right from the first lines that there's some history there. And that to me is kind of interesting to play with. And then getting to see them sort of grow at the pace that they grow at after that one weekend at the lake house. You know, there's things shared, and then sort of they tear down some walls, you know, from each other and sort of get a little bit closer in that way. And I found that beautiful.
No, you guys did really great. So Ali, let me ask you this. I cannot end this interview without asking how you got through your scenes with Carol Burnett, because I could just not imagine. Like, you know, you've seen me. I mean, I got nervous when I asked you for a selfie at an award show. I could not imagine, like, you know, getting through a scene with Carol Burnett. So tell me about working with her.
Oh gosh, it was not easy. And truly not easy just because she was so wonderful in every way. She's incredibly talented, as we know. She's a legend in the field. She is kind and considerate, and just as an actor, to be able to watch her was just a joy. She doesn't push any of her lines. It's like she wrote her own stuff. Like, how do I do that? So working with her was absolutely wonderful. I come back to the scene where I actually have to cry in front of Carol Burnett, and every time I would look up into her eyes, tears in my eyes, every time I would look up, they would just go and just, I don't know, evaporate, because I couldn't cry while looking at Carol Burnett. That was the hardest scene.
Okay, thank you for that. So Rhenzy, what do you think, even though the story of Amber seems very specific, but there is a universal appeal that I think that audiences all over the world are going to sort of hook onto. What do you think that is that's in the story?
I feel like something that people can latch onto is the fact that that life is difficult. Life gets really rough sometimes for a lot of people, more often than not, and that there's people around you can lean on to help you. You're not supposed to do this alone. It'd be very, very, very difficult to do it. It's difficult to do it with people, you know, with people who help you and who care about you and who love you. It's much more to do it alone. And so I think if anything, and that's harder for some people than for others, you know, some people can ask for help and it's not too difficult. And for some people, it's an incredibly vulnerable thing to do, is to ask for help and to open up that way. And so if anything, you're right that it does have this universal theme where, if you sort of learn that it's okay to be vulnerable in that way, that I think you'll be better off for it, you know?
All right. So thank you so much for that. They're going to wrap me because my time's up, but Ali, I'm not going to let you get away with, you were very casually played off the cat. What is your Zoom's co-star name? Just so, because I have a cat of my own that I was worried that was going to walk into the frame. My rescue cat is Nebula. What's your cat's name?
Nebula. Well,
Beautiful name.
like mother, like son. My son Rocco is not camera shy. He is zooming around this apartment. He will not be the last person to see him today.
All right, let's hope not. You guys take care. Thank you so much for your time. Stay safe, okay?
Thank you.